So before I get into the negatives about the Leafs game against Carolina, I want to give credit where credit's due. Most of the team's been playing great this season, and William Nylander had a stellar first period. This is a chance you're only going to get 1 out of 10 times, only if you're working at 100% 10 out of 10 times. So what is it about Nylander's game that he allows himself to slip to such a low pace, or a lower intensity? This is what Craig Berube had to say on him. Work your way out. Get your breaks. Work for your breaks. That's the biggest thing for me, is getting him back to work a little bit more and being more tenacious on pucks and puck battles. When he was scoring a lot, his puck battles were extremely high and he's playing with more pace. He's not playing with the same pace right now. I think I know why William Nylander lets his game slip or plays at a low pace sometimes. William Nylander is on the wrong team. William Nylander has become a playoff player and has a playoff intensity available in him. He goes to the net. He's capable of playing a hard game. If Jordan Staal was on his third line, or he played in Florida, or Vegas, Dallas, Edmonton, or Winnipeg, Colorado, if Nathan MacKinnon was his captain, I don't think William Nylander would be able to let his game slide. He's a beast. He's ready to step up. The problem is he's overpaid, and it's going to be very hard for him to find a team or be placed on any team that has the depth he needs to shine. That's the consequence of getting over $10 million a year so far in the NHL. So considering Berube commented on the low pace of Nylander's game from time to time, I think we need to talk about Auston Matthews. The pace of Auston Matthews' game has been so slow I don't even believe he could lead an old-timer's game at this rate. He looks sluggish, he looks injured, and frankly he doesn't even look into it. Except for one shift at about the 10-minute mark of the third period where he really poured it on and took some steps, he didn't stride, he didn't skate, and something's definitely concerning. What I'm going to do now is show a series of clips featuring Auston Matthews and Martin Necas, alternating between the two. And what I'd like you to try and do is count the number of steps they take, to count the number of strides they take when they're on the ice. Conveniently, I've tracked the annual salary cap hits of our subjects to their heads to help our viewers follow. Obviously, this is Auston Matthews going to the net with one stride. This is Martin Necas flying into the zone, and he incidentally makes $6.5 million a year. Can't count the strides there. Auston Matthews is just standing still a bit and, trying to get through the night, I guess. And Necas, look out. He's on fire. Matthews is floating into the slot, waiting for someone to do the work. Necas, again, taking control of the game. 10 steps there. Matthews looking injured here. He's just desperately looking for someone to pass it to as fast as he can. And here Necas is taking a lot of strides as Martin almost strips him of the puck, but he's able to recover quickly. Here Auston floats to the half boards and makes a blind pass to the defenseman. Now, I do know he took a bit of a look and was aware his defense was in position, but he's not fully aware of who's moving. And he does this fairly often. And it will cost the Leafs another goal at the end of this game when he makes another blind backhand pass from the same area. Again, we got Necas taking control of the game. Here's Matthews floating. Necas taking control of the game. I think there's about 8 steps on this crossover turn here. Once again, that is not a hit. I don't know. Does that count as a hit? Necas faking shots. Matthews stuck behind the play. Necas undressing Nylander at $6.5 million a year. And he just goes on and on and on. This guy's on fire. Now, I think it's important that I show a couple clips of two very hardworking Leafs, being Nick Robertson and Matthew Knies again. Starting out with Nick Robertson, I had to slow this down to keep track of all the steps. He was just flying. He won the most steps per rush contest in this game. And watch this dangle. Holy crap, 20 steps. That's a hardworking guy. Knies is a lot bigger, and the bigger they are, the less strides they have to take. But he still had to take 9 steps to get up to speed here, indicating for a big guy, he is working really hard. The Leafs' power play has been absolutely terrible this season, and to add insult to injury, the 4 guys leading it cost a total of $47 million. Currently ranked 18th in the league, they give up a lot of odd man rushes on their power play and are also near the top of the league for shorthanded goals against. Incidentally, here's a couple more examples of those shorthanded chances against the Leafs, only a few seconds apart. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there was a habit I mentioned of Auston Matthews in the offensive zone where he would sometimes make blind backhanded passes to the point without knowing who's moving. I want to show an example of that from the most recent game against Carolina in Carolina, so here it is quickly. And following this section of today's shit sandwich, I would like to leave off with some positive examples. Here's Jordan Stahl collecting his hats. It was really cool to see him do that in front of his folks. Aside from the negative things I had to say about the Toronto Maple Leafs in this New Year review, there were some positives. Obviously, William Nylander had an amazing game. He just needed more support from the other superstars on his team. The non-player characters played a really good game. Otherwise, it wasn't all bad. Auston Matthews had a good rush here where he did take some strides and almost throw a hit. And I have another clip here where he did throw a hit. Also, I don't forget the amazing goal he scored while he was falling. It's just that at $13.25 million a year in this league, you got to do a lot better.